guys? It's Richie here with Statifying Football. This is your Week 9 college football noon games. First big game in the Big Ten, and nationally, Wisconsin and Ohio State. Wisconsin was upset by Illinois 24-23. Jack Cohn, 264 passing, one touchdown pass, but threw a very costly interception late in the game to allow Illinois to go down and get the winning field goal. Jonathan Taylor, good day, 132 rushing yards and a touchdown. They did turn over 3 times, which didn't help them at all. Defense had 4 sacks. Ohio State blew out Northwestern 52-3. Justin Fields, Heisman candidate, 18-23, 194, 4 touchdown passes. J.K. Dobbins ran for 121 and a touchdown. And caught 30 yards worth of passes and caught a touchdown. Defense forced 2 turnovers and held Northwestern to only 199 yards. I expect this to be a good game, even though Wisconsin lost. Wisconsin still has a good defense. They still, this is a game between 2 of the best running backs in the nation, with Jonathan Taylor for Wisconsin and J.K. Dobbins for Ohio State. It's in Ohio State. I guess I'm hoping for the upsets just because I like to see upsets, but I think Ohio State should win this game. But this will be a really close game, right down to the end, I believe. And not only is this for possible playoff implications, Big Ten implications, but even Heisman implications. Jonathan Taylor is a huge Heisman candidate for Wisconsin, and Justin Fields is for Ohio State. Next game, Oklahoma taking on Kansas State. Oklahoma beat West Virginia 52-14. Jalen Hurts, another Heisman candidate. He was 16 of 17. He only had one incompletion, 316 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, added 75 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. But they put up 560 and only allowed 242 total yards. Kansas State had a nice close win against TCU, 24-17. Skylar Thompson, 11 of 23, not great, but 172 passing, 2 touchdowns, added 68 rushing yards and a touchdown. They only had 266 total yards in that win. I don't think this Oklahoma is really good. Kansas State normally they come out, they upset people, they win games they shouldn't win. And it's a noon game. Maybe it's in Manhattan, Kansas, the Little Apple. Maybe possible upset here, but I think Oklahoma might still be. It may be close, maybe the first half, but I think Oklahoma should have enough to pull away. Iowa taking on Northwestern. Iowa beat Purdue 26-20 in a game I kind of figured. Purdue's offense is pretty good. Iowa's defense is good, and they just had enough to win. Nate Stanley, so-so, 260 passing, 1 interception. Brandon Smith, 9 catches, 106. Defense forced 2 turnovers. Northwestern got killed by Ohio State 52-3. Quarterback Aiden Smith, 6 of 20 for 42 yards and 1 interception. They had 199 total yards. Northwestern is a solid defense. They just haven't been doing it on offense. I expect Iowa to win. Possibly kind of low-scoring, old-school Big Ten kind of game, 20-10, 23-13, something like that, Iowa. All right, Appalachian State, they're moving up in the rankings. They're number 21 now. They're taking on South Alabama. Appalachian State destroyed Louisiana Monroe 52-7. Zach Thomas, 214 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes, plus 58 rushing yards and a touchdown. Darrington Evans ran for 136 and a touchdown and had 41 receiving yards and a touchdown. Had 572 yards of offense. Turned it over twice, but I don't think that'll matter in this one. They forced 3 turnovers and only had 213 yards to really good Louisiana Monroe offense. South Alabama got destroyed by Troy. Can't spell destroy without Troy. They lost 37-13. Cephas Johnson, 183 passing, 2 picks. They only had 274 total yards. They had 3 turnovers. Defense did force 3 turnovers. Travis Reed had 2 picks, but this shouldn't be close. Appalachian State should kill them. All right, Miami taking on Pittsburgh. Miami, what the hell is wrong with you? It's the Georgia Tech in overtime. Miami and Cozy Perry wasn't bad. 188 passing, 2 touchdowns, plus 1 rushing. Cameron Harris ran for 7 yards, or well over 100 yards. Defense had 3 sacks, but they couldn't hold down Georgia Tech. Pitt, coming off a 27-20 loss to Syracuse. Pitt's 5-2. They keep winning these close games, and I don't know how. Kenny Pickett, 232 passing, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Davis, 103 rushing and a touchdown. Defense had 9 sacks against Syracuse. The defense is one of or the top team in the nation in sacking. They're like 1 or 2. Miami's defense is good. but Pitt's been winning these games for no reason, and I think Pitt will do it again. All right, San Jose State taking on Army. San Jose State's actually having like an up year for them. They're 3-4, trying to get to a bowl. Army's kind of having a down year. They're 3-4 because they've won 10 and 11 games each of the last 2 years. San Jose State, they did lose 27-17 to San Diego State. Josh Love 218 passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick. They only had 272 total yards. Whereas Army lost to Georgia State. Georgia State's a pretty good team. They're 5-2, I think, right now. They did run for 279 or 278 in that triple option for Army, but they had 2 turnovers. This is kind of an interesting game because San Jose State can pass it a little bit, and Army is a triple option team. I think Army kind of corrects things here and should get a win here, but this should be pretty close game. All right, Mississippi State taking on Texas A&M. Mississippi State lost 36-13 to LSU. Garrett Schrader, 238 passing, 1 touchdown, but threw 2 interceptions, added 66 rushing yards and a touchdown. They had 340 total yards. They turned it over 3 times. The defense said to have 3 sacks. For Texas A&M, beat Ole Miss 24-17. Kellen Mond, not great. 172 passing, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, added 76 rushing yards. They ran for 165 as a team. Their defense had a really good game against a high-powered Ole Miss offense. They had 3 sacks, 2 turnovers, and a fumble return for a touchdown. I expect this to be pretty close. Mississippi State, they're kind of a weird team. They can keep it close, but I'm going to go Texas A&M here in the end. All right, Illinois and Purdue. Illinois coming off a huge upset victory over Wisconsin. They beat them 24-23. Brandon Peters, not very good completion percentage-wise, 9-21, but passed for 174, 2 touchdowns. They ran for 141 as a team. They forced 3 turnovers, which helped them beat Wisconsin. Where Illinois kept it pretty close against Iowa. They lost 26-20. Jack Plummer, 327, 2 touchdowns, a pick. David Bell, 13 catches, 197 yards, and a touchdown. They only had 33 rushing yards, and they turned it over twice against Iowa. Even though Illinois beat Wisconsin, I'm actually going to go Purdue here. Purdue's offense, they seem to be turning around. Jack Plummer's getting a good hold here. I think Illinois, it's one of those games where like they've been better this year than the last couple of years, but I feel like they put all their energy into that Wisconsin game, man, and they might be looking past Purdue. All right, Liberty, 5-2 Liberty taking on 1-6, 1-6 Rutgers. Liberty, they beat one AA main team as a high-scoring game, 59-44. Steven Calvert, 351 yards, 5 touchdown passes. Antonio Gandy Golden, 9 catches, 149. They had a kick return for a touchdown. Their defense had 6 sacks and 2 turnovers in the game. Whereas Rutgers got destroyed 42-7 by Minnesota. Johnny Langan, 9 of 19, 48 yards, 3 interceptions. They did run for 141, but they had 189 total yards. They turned it over 3 times. Liberty's an independent school. Rutgers is a Big Ten. I'm actually going to go I'm going to go Liberty here. Liberty's offense is really good. Rutgers is just crappy. So I'm actually going to go Liberty there. I'm not sure what the point spread is, but they'll probably favor Rutgers because they don't watch Liberty. I think Liberty wins. Bowling Green taking on Western Michigan. Bowling Green coming off a 38-20 loss to Central Michigan. Grant Loy, 13-29, not very good. 166 passing and a touchdown. He threw 3 interceptions, added 67 rushing yards and a touchdown. They did run for 170 yards as a team, but they turned it over 3 times. Where their defense forced 2 turnovers and a 100-yard fumble return touchdown. Where Western Michigan lost 34-27 to Eastern Michigan. John Westink was so-so, 192, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Levante Bellamy ran for 113 and 3 rushing touchdowns. The defense did have 3 sacks. I'm going to go Western Michigan here. Western Michigan's kind of fallen off the last few games. Bowling Green with Loy in there, he's a rushing threat, but I think Western Michigan finally turns it around a little bit here and gets a win. All right, Southern Miss and Rice. Rice might be the best 0-7 team in the country. They barely lost again to UTSA, 31-27. UTSA scored late to get that lead. Aston Walter did run for 109 yards and a touchdown. Brad Rosner had 9 catches, 138 in a touchdown, but they turned it over 4 times in the game. Where Southern Miss lost to Louisiana Tech, 45-30. Jack Abraham, 327 passing, 1 touchdown pass, but threw 4 interceptions. He did add 44 rushing yards and a touchdown. Kez Watkins, 6 catches, 102. Like I said, they had 4 turnovers. Their defense forced 2 turnovers. Then they did have a kick return for a touchdown. I think Southern Miss flips it here. Their offense is too good. Rice has been keeping it close, and it might keep it close here, but I'm going to go Southern Miss. Pretty big game in the Mountain West. Nevada 4-3 trying to get to a bowl, and Wyoming 5-2. If they win, they'll be bowl eligible. Nevada got destroyed by Utah State 36-10. Former Netflix star, quote unquote, and Florida State Seminole Malik Henry 17-38. Shit. 213 passing, 2 interceptions. Shit. Defense did force 3 sacks and 2 turnovers. Wyoming though beat New Mexico 23-10. Sean Chambers 86 passing yards and a touchdown, but he ran for 117 and a touchdown. Xavier Valladay ran for 127 and a touchdown. They did run for 259 yards rushing. Wyoming's got a good defense. They have a good running game anyway, and Nevada's got a good offense. They might be able to score a little bit, move it a little bit. Excuse me, but I'm gonna go Wyoming here to win. All right, Ohio and Ball State. Ohio, they're finally coming back a little bit. They beat Kent State 45-38. Nathan Rourke, 342 passing, 2 touchdowns, plus 79 rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Cox, 4 catches, 115 and a touchdown. They put up 571 total yards. Ball State, they're coming out of nowhere this year. I didn't believe in them. They're 4-3. They're 3 on the MAC. They killed Toledo 52-14. Drew Plitt, 206 passing, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Caleb Huntley ran for 119. They ran for 374 yards as a team, put up 580 yards of offense. The defense had 4 sacks, 3 turnovers, and only allowed 303 yards to a normally really good Toledo team. I expect a shootout here. I think Ball State is better, but I still like Ohio. I don't know. I like their quarterback. Their team's good. I'm going to go against Ball State one more time. I'm going to go with Ohio. If Ball State turns it on, then I'll pick them the rest of the year, I guess. But I'm going to go Ohio here in what should be a really high-scoring game. All right, and really good CUSA matchup. Western Kentucky, they're turning it around this year. They're 5-2. They're 4-0 in the CUSA, facing Marshall, who's 4-3 overall, and 2-1 in the CUSA. Western Kentucky beat Charlotte 30-14. Ty Story, good game, 283 passing, 2 touchdowns. Lucky Jackson, 5 catches, 141 and a touchdown. Marshall beat a really good Florida Atlantic team 36-31 in a really exciting game. Isaiah Green with 206 passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Brandon Knox ran for 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. The defense had 7 sacks and forced a safety in that game. Western Kentucky's offense has been pretty decent in times. Their defense is good. I expect this to be a high-scoring game. I'm not sure who to go here. Western Kentucky's been surprising me, but Marshall, they've been in and out, good and bad. It's in Marshall. I'm gonna go Marshall here. I'm gonna get Marshall in this one. I'll probably regret it, but I'll go Marshall. All right, New Mexico State taking on Georgia Southern. New Mexico State's coming off a bye. Their last game was a loss to Central Michigan. They lost 42-28, but they've been put up yards and points this year. Josh Adkins passed for 263, 3 touchdowns and a pick. They turned it over twice. Where Georgia Southern beat it was a good game against Coastal Carolina. Back and forth, they beat them 30-27 in triple overtime. With that triple option offense, they don't pass a lot, but Shea Wertz, he did well when he did pass, 61 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, added 48 rushing yards. Wesley Kennedy ran for 117 and 2 touchdowns. They ran for 299 as a team, and they only allowed 228 yards to a pretty decent Coastal Carolina offense. This could be a possible shootout, kind of two opposite offenses. New Mexico State likes to pass a lot. They can run a little bit with Jason Huntley and running back, but they like to pass more often. Georgia Southern's got the triple option. New Mexico, when I say they got to travel across the country, go to Georgia. I think Georgia might be turning around here, at least enough to get to a bowl game. I'm going to go Georgia Southern there. All right, so there's my noon games for college football. Check back football. Check back for my 30-31s and prime time my NFL ones. My weekday ones are already up. It's only a 2-minute video. Check it out. Like, subscribe. Peace.